Hello and welcome back to another casted game on the Age of Sumbros YouTube channel. I'm your host, Sersharkdad, and I'm joined with nobody. The YouTube team has finally let me off the leash, and I am going to be solo casting this game. So we are on Korea. Wonderful little map. I think a pretty favorite one in the ranked pool. And we have somebody playing United States here in the left-hand side, sporting the blue. And we have Canadian, which we've seen before on the channel, I think once or twice before. Really great games. Good player, mid-elo, sporting the red as Japan. So we're going to take a look over. Let's see what we got going on. Market starts. Some shrines going down. And cherry orchard being placed in base. One house for the U.S. player. Waiting for some decks to come through. Let's see. United States. Fortunately, I am a filthy United States main, so I'll be able to speak into this. Not as much Japan, though. Capitalism. And it looks like we're going to have some... Seminole Scouts is a pretty interesting card. We may see some aggressive H2. I doubt it, though. Looks like a standard semi-fast fortress. I'm imagining he's going to do some sort of Revnak build, right, where Pennsylvania age up. It's not really a Revnak build. He popularized it, I guess, but it's existed long before him playing United States. So Pennsylvania, church card. You get Carbine Cav, sharpshooters, and then you move on from there with the coin economy, capitalism, Pennsylvania pound, and then moving into H3. So pretty good. Whereas on Canadian side, let's take a look at the deck. Ooh, a little bit of a water play here. So 3 fishing boats. That's going to be pretty nice. Water start economic card. And Korea is one of those maps kind of deceiving. You definitely want to go water. The hunts are kind of limited, a lot of contest in the center of the map, so going water is absolutely the case on Korea. Enlisting regulars, very interesting. And other than that, Funes, not too bad. So everything seems else is pretty good. We got Way of the Bow. You have close combat, all the same cards, but just some water play in here. So I'm thinking that economically speaking, if Japan can kind of focus in on the water and extend out the game, survive the devastating H3 United States, then I think that will be his ticket to a victory. But we'll be able to see in a second. So, but missing that 5 shrine. Oh, well, does he have it? 5 shrine wagon. So we'll probably see that first if we're seeing an economic play. He's going to be aging up now. Let's take a look. Going to go with, yep, Tory Gates. So it's going to help him with that initial samurai. Let's take a look. And, yep. So my predictions were correct. Pennsylvania. So we're going to be seeing a pretty standard semi-FF play. However, 12 villagers. And that's simply because they did not send the French immigrants cards. So economically, kind of a slow start, I would imagine. So we're going to see what he's going to get up to in a second here. Wondering if he's going to go ahead and take Jesuit mission. I doubt it. Go over and take a look at the Canadian side. So both sides just being content to slow age ups are coming in. Got a lot of vills on this. Okay. Gonna try to slightly speed up that age up. And he may just beat out just ever so slightly the US player, so that's going to be pretty good. And it looks like he's going to have enough for his Minuteman pop, so I'm expecting that to come in anytime soon here. Gonna wait for that, see what he does. Hunting Dog's now coming in as well. Get your market text. Okay, Minuteman not called in. So usually what you want to do is that you want to wait till just before the age up comes in. You want to call in Minuteman. Going ahead and turning that building, that's kind of interesting. I feel like I'm seeing that a lot more now, just people being a little bit more creative with the base building, but not like it matters too much. Philadelphia Convention, so again, that unique church card is coming in, so that's going to be pretty nice for the Pennsylvania pound, and then some text out of that, so that's going to be pretty good. Steel traps as well, so another economic boost now going up to, he's got 1 villa in queue, so that's 14 in total. 5 shrine wagons now coming in for Canadian, like I said, so focusing in on that economic play, it's going to be really good, but he better be watching out for the H3 United States. You don't want to give them necessarily the spike, but nice. So we're getting a really aggressive barracks here. Let's see if he sees it. Yeah, so he's already spotted that out. The samurai looks like he's going to be taking out the USA General here. So that's going to be a pretty nice XP pickup. Pretty nice. And I still don't think we've had a Minuteman call in. So one of the things, again, we need to remember that the Minuteman is such a nice thing to have for the United States, such a powerful ability. And, you know, you can tell a really good U.S. player by staying on top of it, constantly calling in those Minutemen. And having those guys just to kind of pluck around and pick up treasures is always just such a good thing to have. Really gives you the edge. Taking a look over Japan, 5 Ashigaru coming in. Fluent and ditching, so even more Marketechs now coming in, and cords of 600 wood. So he's going to be staying age 2 a little bit, putting the pressure on, which I think is a really good play. Again, you want to take your time. This is why Japan has kind of struggled in this meta, because we live in a fast fortress meta, and they kind of lose out to a lot of artillery, you know, fast fortress kind of stuff, because they're having to stay at age 2 a little bit longer. But it seems like he hasn't really scouted out, so it's a little bit risky. He may be going for a fast fortress, but I feel like he's saying, you know what, I like my odds. Let's go ahead and take it. Taking a look at a U.S. player. So it seems like he is going to try to go fast age up here. He's already aging with Kentucky, and then Virginia General Assembly is now coming in. He has not sent in any of the church techs and has not gotten any pops of Minutemen. He probably would have had 2 pops of Minutemen at this point, so very curious. Canadian, I would just kind of has his Ashy sitting. He probably wants to get another batch in before he pushes. Nope, I stand corrected. So that's going to go ahead and go in. Let's see if he can. He's not going to be able to get that state capital. It's too fast, but he may be able to pick up a Ville here, or 2 would be really nice. Except that line of sight when that state capital comes in is so massive. Ooh, but 1 Ville pickup. Market's not the most valuable thing, so we're going to go ahead and back off that. Smart. But picking up a Ville is pretty good. Probably pushing a little bit more. Going in Kentucky, taking out that fast age up option, and he's going to get his 4 sharpshooters. So, yeah, and then immediately Russian American company coming in. It's just such a good card, 30% on the gather rate for huntable animals. And then you get the 2 blockhouses in addition to population space. So 3-in-1 deal. Really, really good. Canadian now on the back foot. He's going to have to be figuring out, okay, now he's age 3. He's probably going to get the blockhouses. He's going to go Gatlings. I can't really push this. I don't have Cav on me. He does have a stable here. Now the question is, do you stay age 2 or do you try to force the age up? His economy is looking pretty good. More shrine wagons coming in. Going to be nice economic boost. And only still 3 fishing boats. So has not built a dock, has not sent in even more fishing boats. So interesting. Russian immigrants now. Sorry, again, Russian American company coming in. Rolling artillery following after that. This is just a stock standard build. Ooh, playing it close to the chest, though. Not pushing out. Not wanting to get aggressive with this barracks. I wonder if he sees this up here. He does not. He maybe wanted to scout up here. Maybe try to take control of that, or even go south. Try to take control of this mine, but he did not. Both of them playing place right next to each other. It looks like that tech did come in from the church. And so he's got some carbine cav coming in conjunction with rolling artillery coming in. Probably going to pop out of the... Oh, set that shipment point forward. Still no Minutemen being called in, and even more carbine cav. Even though he did not see any cavalry on Japan's part, but now he's going to be in a bit of a bother. Simply because these Gatlings are just going to go ahead and take this out, and he's not going to be able to really contest this, and why throw your resources away. You may be able to siege those shrines as well. Training Nagi Nata here, and the Shogunate now coming in. So this is going to be a really good military age up. He's going to be able to... Yeah, he's got plenty on that. That's going to come on just fine. And then 5 Nagi Nata being trained up to hopefully get after these Gatlings, but already a nice massive carbine cav, and those are just going to be devastating. Especially because of their range. The Nagis are going to have a hard time closing the gap. More carbine cav being trained, and then it looks like he is going to go for that first Pennsylvania Rifles. Once again, that other church tech.
I'm ready.
Those guys are shadow teched already for veteran sharpshooters.
It'll take more than that to keep me down.
Another set of rolling artillery coming in, so that's going to be an additional 2 Gatling guns. So this is just going to be a really strong push. This is really good stuff. And Canadian's going to have to be figuring out exactly what he wants to do here. Oh, a couple of Vills being caught up. Sharpshooters pushing up to the north here. Tough stuff, but he's not going to go in. He's not going to take that. He's going to stick to his Gatling guns. Daimyo now in. Sharpshooter's going to go ahead and go after these barracks. I don't think they were... Looks like those are on automatic. More Nagi being shipped. These are still just, I think, H2. Minutemen now being called in. On Japan's side as well. Yeah, going for the double. This TC's about to go down. 1,000 health. It's really close. All right, Nagi now getting into the top of the guns. And he's got the carbon cav in the background, but they're not there to stop them from getting on top here. Ashigaru just getting absolutely slaughtered. The regulars now getting in there in the melee, getting stuck in. Oh, he's got 3 Gatling guns still up. 1 still low health, 2 more down. 2 are still up. Ooh, more Nagi coming in. You gotta remember this is a Lancer type unit, really effective against infantry. And does he pick it up? Does he pick it? He does. And amazingly, all Gatlings are down, all sharpshooters are down, but Carbine Cav are here to wreck face. And that TC is now being repaired, so he technically holds that push. 5 Ashigaru now being made. And Ashigaru being shipped in, but you're seeing a lot of Carbine Cav. Maybe it's time to go Yumi. Save your Daimyo. Oh, Daimyo going down. Carbine Cav. Tough fight here. TC Fire doing its work, doing what it has to do. Oh, you could take this shot. See, a little micro trouble there. More Ashigaru Musketeer coming in, and these are not vet. And looks like the US player is just going to spam Carbine Cav. I mean, just Carbine Cav after Carbine Cav. Now is a really good time to do your bow switch. I mean, I guess technically you can make Musketeers into this, but it's really not the most efficient use of your resources. Great hold on the part of Canadian, though. Very, very exciting fight. Very good job, but, I mean, huge loss of resources there. I mean, just the amount of Nagi had to be pumped in, plus a shipment. It slows the tempo down quite a bit. Discipline Ashigaru now in. Command? Even more veteran Carbine Cav just coming in, just continuing to poke and prod. But again, if, you know, you give Japan time, that's the advantage to them. All right, now we're going to see the Yumi Archers coming in. I wonder if he's got the veterancy upgrade for them. I think he's training that right now. Yeah, Disciplined Yumi Archer coming in. Very good stuff. Double infantry comp, so he has to be worried about a Gatling gun switch. But looks like a US player doesn't have any Gatlings in queue, not shipping anything right now. He already used 2 rolling artillery, so the next rolling artillery would just be the 1, so you don't typically want to do that. Lots of Carbine Cav here, just content to siege down the shrines. It looked like he was training a regular, or he was training a regular, but he, I guess, canceled that. More Carbine Cav and shipping in sharpshooters. Hello. Covered wagon here, very cool. Gonna get a TC down. I wonder where he's gonna place it. And now, kind of spreading the base, he's gonna go ahead and get another TP. This is very good stuff. He's kind of got Canadian on the back foot, so he's gonna be able to push, take his map control, take advantage of that. Gonna go ahead and mass. He could have gone Buffalo Soldiers, would have been nice. Pretty big upgrade for the Carbine Cav that he has so much of. 1,000 coin would have been good too, but looks like he wants to try to get a little bit more mass down. He's gonna send those forward. See what he can pick up. Looking back over at Canadian side, more Ashigaru, more Naginata. This is tough because I guess he's anticipating getting on top of the sharpshooters. I think he's anticipating maybe even more Gatling guns. Artillery foundry is really good here, but that's not the case. It's just even more anti-cav. So spending even more resources on the Naginata is kind of wasted. He's gonna need more and more bows. Now the sharpshooters here are gonna outrange the bows, and so they're gonna win in the kite. But the Yumi will be able to stand and fight a lot better, as far as my understanding, simply because the attack damage is that much greater. So yeah, 18 to 22. But I believe Way of the Bow, 2 to the range attack, so they would still be slightly outranged. But you know what would be really good, I think, is probably just, this is a really good composition, and maybe he wants to go Flaming Arrows here. That would kind of serve as an anti-artillery, but then also get after the sharpshooters. But I'll leave that to him to decide. Some Hussar being trained in on the part of the United States player. I'm guessing because he sees the Yumi, but I mean, they're not going to be able to do much into these Ashigaru, which he's got a decent size mass of these guys. 25. Shipping in more Yumi, training more Yumi. Bushido principles.
仏様のご加護のおかげじゃ。
Little lull in the action here. Just doubling down on that Yumi production. That's going to be pretty good. More sharpshooters, more... oh, actually, we see a saloon and going Black Riders, which, you know, you already have like a massive use of carbine cav, and you're going even more anti-cav is kind of interesting. I'm not entirely sure what the point of that would be. I'm going Jesuits. I'm going to go Smokeless Powder. Very good. Nice tech. Really smart using the native techs here, taking advantage of that. But he's going to go ahead and take that TP. He kind of gave up ground. He went north, caught him out. Taking out those 2 shrines is really good. But, you know, way for Canadian to go ahead and take that center of the field and take advantage of that. Sharpshooters here, they're going to start picking off a ton of these Ashi. Naginata are going to try, but yeah, it looks like he drag boxed that rather than keeping the Nagi separate. Let's see what he shipped. Even more Nagi coming in. Even more Yumi. This is a very sizable mass for Canadian. Economy 38 to 31 plus 12 shrines. It's about even, I would imagine, just simply because of the upgrades from Russian American company and market techs. Flag being posted down, but he's finding this TC. 21 vills inside this TC, so he's going to need to fight here. He has to fight this. Oh, but Canadian, you need to not have those Nagi running forward. Come on, brother. What are you doing? Pull those back. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Carbine Cav, very good range for a Dragoon unit. 14 range here, so that's kind of problematic. He needs a lot more Yumi to be able to stand and fight. I wonder what he's producing over here. More Nagi. More Yumi. This TC absolutely needs to be the focus, though. He needs to be able to take out this economy, but... Does he get the TC? I think it will go down. No. Oh, he did not take out the TC. Oh my god. Doing a Vil pull. Kind of getting in the way of the shots here. They're kind of middling around, walking. Smart. Oh, and that's going to be a clean wipe. Oh, he doesn't even take the TC. Some Vils go down, but... Wow. Wow. And then even this attack move is just the settlers are getting in the way, and this Carbon Cav is just going to totally clean up against the Yumi. What a rough fight. Oh, Canadian. Yeah, see, trying to take out those Vils, you know, and that would have been a really clean pickup if he was able to do it. But, I mean, so many Carbon Cav and just not enough anti-light cavalry in Canadian's composition. Not enough Yumi to take that out. Wow, what a fight. Jeez, that's... And people would just go ahead and quit after that one. I mean, that TC was so close. I hope he remembers to repair that. Wow. Wow. Okay, so what do you ship here? 2 Cherry Orchard Rickshaws. Trying to keep it safe, trying to keep it close to the vest, to the, you know, inside the base. But, yeah, and it looks like the United States player just does not have enough to really push this. Even after a huge win and saving those Vils. And then Canadian, you're wondering, what are you going to do? Okay, you're going to train... I guess you need Ashigaru just in case of a Cav switch, but at the same time, you're thinking to yourself, like, oh, man, like, these Carbine Cav are destroying me, and I'm making more and more Naginata. Oh, very good picked up there. I would imagine Yumi, Ashi, Flaming Arrow, I guess, but I really wouldn't know. This is a tough call. Way of the Bow and going Yamabushi. Interesting. So if Yamabushi are able to get on top of the Carbine Cav and snare them, that would be really devastating, but we'll see. Going over the United States side, even more Black Riders being trained, even more anti-cav. Let's go full Dragoon composition, it seems like, right? And then we'll just smash it in. You know what? Let's see if it works. I'm totally here for it. We're in the new meta now. This TC's hanging on for dear life. He has not remembered to repair it, but he is producing from both, I believe. Very good. Economy is looking really solid, 33 Vils. 240s Japan, but again, Japan, if you give them time, it just gets worse and worse for you. Just worse and worse for you. Give me a close 160, but it looks like, yeah, he's got a lot of shrines right here. Not in exactly what you want. You want to get shrines here. He's going to want shrines up here. It's hard. He doesn't have the map control now. This Carbine Cav is all over. All over. I have to hand it to the United States player. Really spreading the troops around, has been successful in that. Really covering everything, making sure to go hunt after those shrines. Very good, very, very good macro play. Oh, finding these shrines here, that's going to be hurtful. And, you know, and the great thing about Korea, too, being such a small map, he's able to get his masses together. See, this is weird, interesting, like, mercenary compositions as well. Ascari now being added into the mix. I mean, why not, right? So, very good. 2 prospector wagons coming in, so that's going to give coal mines. So, very good. So, 2 times faster than other mines, right? And so, since he's kind of running out of mines in base, although he does have 1,200 coin here, this is going to be pretty nice to keep him in his base and kind of give him that longevity. Yumi now pushing out. Exactly. This is good because you want to go ahead and separate them. Oh, Canadian. Do you see it? Do you see it? Does he see it? Come on. Yes, you see that. Go, 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 go. Oh, see. Yeah, man, that's the problem. You know, he had a chance to really close the gap, get in between the 2 forces there. Yumi on the carbine cabin being able to take them out. And then Naginata would have picked up those sharpshooters. That would have been really, really nice. Because this is all basically, like, there's a few Ascari musketeers and just dragoons in this. So that would have been devastating. Artillery Foundry now finally going down for the United States player. Scores are still pretty close, 2K apart. But US player does look really strong here. 2 flaming arrows now coming in. Very nice. And I want to see those Yamabushi. Huh. Yes, right there. 8 of those bad boys. Honestly, I would have even more. For me. Hussar looking to get in the mix here, 3 of them, but they're not going to be able to do much except scout out the vanguard of Canadian's army. And he will take up this TC for sure. I say that, I don't want to speak too soon. At any point in time, anybody wants to take down this TC. There we go. Nice. Okay, no vills in that, but that's a TC down. Artillery Foundry trying to train a Gatling gun, but that's just unfortunate being right on that. He has not captured the flag yet. And Hussar now trying to get in the mix. Ascari trying to get in the mix, but that is just going to get absolutely wiped by the Union archers. And the Yamabushi are now getting in there. They're getting the snare. But they're not lasting very long. And now the Gatling guns are getting in there, wiping out some of the Yumi. See if he can get right on top of those Gatling guns in time. And he does. The Naginata are now paying off. And this is now looking like a really solid fight for Canadian. Plenty of Yumi archers here in the mix. And that Dragoon comp is not going to be enough. Naginata are kind of throwing themselves into it. And they're going to end up losing themselves for that. But you're going to see some Naginata getting on top of these sharpshooters. And they're going to have to walk off. And that is a win for Canadian. And so let's see if he can capitalize on this. This is the kind of change that you're going to want to see. So Yumi now coming in, even more Yamabushi, just in case he needs the kind of melee anti-cap. Go ahead and push that advantage, absolutely. Wow. Okay, huge shift. So now we see a massive score shift, 3K now for Canadian. That's a swing. But say it ain't so. Pulaski's Legion. This is a card that will absolutely change games, and it's a problem. You always have to be thinking about it in the back of your mind if you're playing against the United States, among the many millions of other things you need to be thinking about in this game. Hussar now getting on top of the Yumi. They're totally unprotected, and these Pulaski's Legion, they are going to pop at any second now, and they're going to be shipped in, and he's not going to have enough anti-cap to really handle these Ulan unless he can get some Yamabushi up in front. Oh, flaming arrow. Oh man, this is tough. This is tough. Even more Hussar. And the Pulaski's Legion are popping. Alright, they're getting in there. Naginata are going to try to body block, but there's not a lot. Are there any Yamabushi here in the mix? I don't think so. I think this is going to be a total wipe. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Oh man. And just like that, the turn for the worst. Pushed by Canadian, just trying to take advantage of that, taking that south of the map, and just totally unsuccessful now, having stayed too long and not having any anti-cap. The Pulaski's Legion popped along with some Hussar, and then there goes the lead. Another score swing, massive score swing, another 3K going towards the United States player. And it looks like still not enough anti-cap, and it looks like the United States player is going to be nothing but cavalry. So we'll see how this all shakes out. Looking over 49 vills, even more Black Riders being trained. This is like an interesting composition, and 39 on wood, so it looks like he's probably going to be transitioning now to infinite resource gather rate, which I don't think is necessary. He has coin mines here, even more TCs. I think he's worried about hunts. He probably needs to get a dock. Like I said, the hunts on this land side go quickly. But all vills, he's got 49 vills, all vills. He's not training anything. They're all on wood. So, I mean, build a dock. Start getting... You're going to start boat spamming. You need to start fixing up your economy. He's got no food. He's got a little bit of coin, some coin trickle from capitalism in that Pennsylvania pound, but it's not enough. Kentucky hunters now coming in. It's going to be a lot. 5 renegado, 14 sharpshooters. That's going to be a huge shipment for him. This is a great time for you to send it. Yeah, he's going to put down those mills. But again, I would really like to see a dock. He's got plenty of wood income for it. Canadian now staying H3. 2 cherry orchard rickshaws again. Probably worried about food income. He's on 50 with 19 shrines. 49's pretty close, and again, these shrines are not best placed. He's got some here down to the south. Got some here to the north. Probably wants another 2 right there, if he can manage it. Massive shipment. Massive shipment on the part of the United States player. But still, not calling in that minimum just as often enough as I would want to see. A lot of coin income, though. Getting on those coin mines, or sorry, those coal mines specifically. Massive amount of coin income right now. I wonder if he's maybe looking for an age 4 or just going to keep going mercs. I'm really not too sure at this point, because it's anybody's game. We're running out of shipments for the United States player. You could send Tammany Festival. Not really the best thing, but you can get Cree stuff, would be nice. Irish Immigrants is also a potential card here. Continental Rangers would be really nice, actually, considering the amount of sharps that he has. Woku Junk. Dock finally now going down. Woku Junk is going to be interesting. Canadian, still really not much on the water side. Bit of a lull, but look at this mass. Oh, I look away for 2 seconds. That's Japan for you. 40 discipline Yumi. 14 on the Ashi. Oh, Naginata, we're trying to get in the action. God probably picked up some sharpshooters, but he's got some Black Riders here, just going to absolutely destroy those Naginata. But it looks like, for the most part, I mean, despite the score difference, it does not feel as if the United States has a large mass in comparison to what Canadian has put out. And maybe that was that re-macroing that kind of hurt him a little bit. Training even more Black Riders. I mean, these guys, I mean, they're a great Dragoon unit, but I'm not sure exactly what their role is. There's not enough Naginata to really justify it. Oh, but if he can find these Vills, this is huge. He's finding the TC, very good. Getting on top of the Vills, he's probably going to pick up all 4 of these. And those little things are going to make the difference. Okay, he's picking up 2 instead. Okay, once again, going to have these Yumi stand and fight up against Dragoons. Oh, and your sharpshooters are split. Ulangao getting on top of the Yumi, but he does have Ashigaru in the mix, and they're going to be able to melee, and that's going to melt these Ulan. They're not high HP at all. Naginata getting in there. They're getting after the sharpshooters. He doesn't have a lot of them. Ashigaru are just walking in, going to go ahead and melee, and the Yumi, they're going to get the snare off, and the Yumi are still firing. And all he has are Black Riders, which are hard countered by these Yumi, and even more. And do we see him? Even more Yumi. He's gunning. He needs to have some anti-cav in this mix, though, because if he has another cav switch, he's going to lose this mass. And that's something that has just consistently happened for Canadian. He needs to be able to adapt on the fly. Close combat. Ashigaru upgrade coming in. Even more Ashi. Very smart. Very good job. He's recognizing the need in the composition. Taking out more villagers here. He's going to have to get those Ashigaru up there ASAP. Looking over. 4 Hussar are just simply not going to be enough for the amount of... Oof. Instant deletion. Whew. And that TC is probably going to go down, and still training Black Riders. It's so curious. And, I would say Canadian, go ahead and just see it through. Oh my god, huge pickup here. Ashigaru getting in the melee. Oh no. Oh no. That has to be like 15 blows. What a huge loss. Huge loss. Oh no. Looking over here to the south, his dragoons are just kind of out here. Taking out some Yamabushi, it looks like, and just losing a massive amount of villagers, losing a TC. There was about 4 vills over here, and it had to be like, 10, 15 vills on that coin mine. Oh, so rough. Even more Yamabushi now here. Plenty of Yumi. You got enough anti-cav here just in case he wants to do Hussars or any sort of kind of cheeky switch. The only thing really he needs is, I mean, at this point, the United States player absolutely needs Gatling guns, and it looks like he's anticipating that. He's got an artillery foundry over here. Woku Junk, speaking Spanish. Okay. Kind of harassing those vills, seeing to take out the economy, water economy that doesn't exist, but reading my mind, United States player now having 4 Gatling guns and into a purely infantry composition, it is going to be deadly. Now, he could stand and fight, try to take out the Gatling guns, but that's just a waste of resources at this point. And so for the United States player, gonna look at Hussar, gonna look at some Gatling guns. He's gonna have to switch up the composition, but he's plugged in so many resources when it comes to those mercenaries. Looking over disciplined Yabusami archers. So these guys are absolutely devastating. You're gonna see these stats again, 10 of them. Ooh. Bit of a loss there. A bit of a misplacement on the Yumi. That's a bit rough, but he's going to have to eat that cost. Yabusami archers. Now, if you guys can peep this. 7 times bonus damage against artillery. Yes. Yes. Absolutely devastating. Best culverin ever. Now, he does have quite a few Black Riders still left. Outpost wagons looking to maybe turtle up a little bit, trying to gain some map control, get the center. Is he making any fishing boats? Yeah, he's got a couple of fishing boats out here. Does have control of the water over that one Woku Junk, so maybe he can still kind of get back into this kind of boom back in, trying to gain some map control. Really hone in on that. 15 idle, that's no good. But he is producing more fishing boats. You are getting more Hussar, except there's plenty of anti-cav now in this composition, although it doesn't look like it. The Ashigar are going to be plenty fine. He's got Yabusami in there. Plenty fine. Harassing the vills here. What do? You know, you're running around. 2 outposts going down. That's going to be a waste. Unfortunately, catching that out. A little too aggressive, perhaps. Hussar and Carbine Cav double cavalry. I would just go ahead and push here. Look at this mass from Japan. Still just 4 Gatling guns. He probably needs a few more, honestly, to contend with this. Just one good fight will decide this. Yabusame, if they can get onto the Gatling guns, that will make a huge difference. He may want to be able to force it. Looks like he is going to force it. 1 Gatling gun, 2 Gatling guns going down. He can do more. He's got it. Oh, Yabusame, you're doing so good. 18 range attack. 18 range on this. 13 range attack. Times 8. Times 8. Gatling guns go down, and that's it. He's just going to go ahead and throw in the towel. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Whew. Stuck with the sounds of battle in our ears. Wow. And that was a sudden call, but Japan just gave them way too much time, just outscaled, outmassed, and just the right composition at the right time, and just was able to just kind of force it, you know. United States player, too many Dragoons, you know, and Yumi were just too good up against that Skirm Goon combination, and just kind of ran out of map as well. Ran out of map control, ran out of natural res, didn't transition to water. A lot of things, but what a great game. Great fights, great back and forth from both players. Let's go ahead and take a look at the post game. Awesome game, awesome back and forth fights. You can kind of see resource count pretty sizable. Not too great. Not too great, though. Most military, 365 military units. Wow. Look at that. 191. 191 Yumi. I mean, that is absolutely insane. Up against a 41 carbine cav, you know, and still having a hard time producing so many Yumi into a primarily Dragoon composition, and still kind of struggling in the midst of that, simply because, you know, just a couple of well-timed Hussar, the Pulaski's Legion, you know, and just kind of missing an opportunity when it comes to the sharpshooters that were able to kite, and then he couldn't get the Naginata on top, and that was really tough. But, you know, the kind of mercenary combination, a bit interesting, but just not very efficient into what Japan was putting out. And eventually the compositions were able to kind of adapt over time. Canadian was starting to see, okay, I'm going to have to go pure infantry here, less Naginata, get some Yabusame in here. Very smart. Taking a look at the timeline. Want to see that huge loss. Look at that. So this would have been a lot worse if he had taken out that TC in the middle of the fight, in the middle of the game there. That huge fight with that TC not being able to go down. There was 20-something vills in that one. Wasn't able to pull it off, but pretty much stayed ahead. United States, I don't think he ever sent the Irish immigrant card. Yeah, we don't really see that. Great vill production on both players' parts. Really consistent, but I mean, that was just a huge loss. Just taking that center of the map, taking out that TC. And you just don't recover too easily from that. That's a big loss. Let's take a look at a military unit population. Huge swings here. See, like, just taking massive losses here in the early to mid game. But here's kind of the deciding factor, right? That kind of middle fight, and then yeah, he lost a lot. But here and here, very, very difficult to recover from. Stayed ahead in resources. I want to take a look at the villager count again. Okay. And there's the stats. Fantastic game. Really had a great time casting this one. Really had a great time looking it over. I hope that you all enjoyed this cast. I know it's a solo cast. It's not very common here on the Age of Sunbros YouTube channel, but sharks tend to swim alone, I guess. So I'm just glad that we were able to get this video out to you. Canadian does fantastic stuff. So when he sent this over on the Discord, I was like, I know I have to cast this one, and it did not disappoint. Plenty of back and forths, but it's good to see Japan get a win. I know McCleaves is not going to like me saying that, but they have not been exactly performing on the ladder, especially against the United States. So very good game. I appreciate the United States player for letting us to pick it over and cast over it, and you did a fantastic job. Thank you for allowing us that, and thank you again, Canadian, for the submission. Great game. Everyone, if you're enjoying this kind of casting content, if you like what we're doing here on the YouTube channel, please feel free to subscribe, hit the like button there, and let us know what you think in the comments. Thank you so much, and we will see you in the next one.